responsibility for eating 15 servings of peach cobbler a day. We ain't got no responsibility on that. We just, racism made me eat, 5 pieces of peach cobbler. Racism made me do that. Oh, okay, cool.
Absolutely.
David Williams' research shows that even when treated in the same healthcare settings, Black Americans are less well cared for than whites.
Right. Where's right, Mashawn? Welcome to the chat, Mashawn. I wish that I had that clip of that lady from you, Mashawn, talking about I'm 900 pounds because of racism. I can't get the fat off of me because of racism. I'm big because racism made me big. The diets don't work the same on me. The diets are racist. Oh, well, I'll be goddamn. Well, I'll be damn. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like we ain't got no problems. We got problems. But we don't need to go out. We do not need to go out and create problems just because we don't like what we're looking like. I know people like, why are you always going back to the 1940s and 50s? Because we didn't have, 80% of the Black population walking around like a fucking Oompa Loompa, sipping on a peach cobbler Slurpee every day.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the...
Shout out to Son Moses with the $5 super sticker. I got you. Yeah, we do. We got 5 on that joint. All right, shout out to Eric Johnson, Eric Jordan with the $5 super sticker. The number 1 killer is heart disease. Us Blacks need to take care of our health better. Absolutely do. And you get Theo for that.
Bang! Bang! It's good.
Yeah, we absolutely do. And because it's $5, absolutely, we got 5 on it. And shout out to the big homie, the Quiet Storm, with the $20 super chat. Support Black male media. That's what we out here trying to do. And you got the Theo. And here's the reason why you should support Black male media, because we are up and we want the smoke. We want the smoke. Support us. Support us. And of course, I cannot forget. Oh, we got one more.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the...
Shout out to the brilliant, messy Michelle. Michelle, are you starting to get better? Is that influenza A? Is that flu A getting better? That flu A, is that getting better? I cannot believe that you did not know influenza was the flu. Michelle, you've been on this planet way too long not to know that influenza is basically the flu. And we got 2 types, flu A and flu B. Yeah, we got 2 types. Actually, flu B is more common. Is the more common strand of the flu. And so we see flu A all the time. I mean, flu B all the time. We don't really see a lot of flu B around that often. I mean, flu A around all that often, but we do see flu B a lot. All right, shout out to my homeboy, Eric Jordan. Nah, sis, you never wanted to lose that weight. Yeah. Y'all clowning. Thank you guys for the support. I appreciate that. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. You got me waiting. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to it. I don't like this. We are so accustomed to blaming everyone else for our conditions and not looking in first. Let me tell you something. And just because something happens to you that might be out of your control, that does not mean you cannot do an assessment from a standpoint of, okay, what can I do next? Or what can I do differently to try to prevent this from happening again? Why can't we do that? Why can't, even if something happens to us that's outside of our control, we can still do a self-assessment. Having a banana pudding smoothie 3 times a day it's not the fault. That's not racism. That's a choice.
Health we see.
Just to make this abundantly clear, a black man or woman with a college degree making a lot of money is less well off health-wise than a white man or woman in the same category under the same circumstances?
Absolutely.
David Williams' research shows that even when treated in the same healthcare settings, black Americans are less well cared for than whites.
One researcher coined the term weathering to describe what is happening to African Americans. Imagine a drop of water falling from the rooftop of this building to the concrete sidewalk below. If the water drips today, it's no big deal. But if day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out, there is a constant drip, drip, drip of water, the sidewalk, the concrete below, would become weathered. It becomes eroded by the constant exposure to adversity. And
so now, so let me get this right. So we're blaming on racism. Now we're blaming on the weather. Blame it on the rain. So we're blaming on the rain now. Okay. All right.
so what the research is suggesting that all of these stressors are weathering African Americans in the same way.
I can't change the color I am. And I can't change the color my kids are. And I can't, change the way people see us.
Michelle Thomas is a single mom raising 6 kids in Atlanta.
Same way.
I can't change the color I am. And I can't change the color my kids are. And I can't, change the way people see us.
Michelle
Look at that. She got 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, and they all fat except for one. And she the size of 3 of her kids put together. This ain't got nothing to do with the color of their skin. This ain't got a damn thing to do with the color of their skin. And I know a lot of times we like to sit around and like to blame, oh, I got thyroid problems. We the most thyroid and problem having people I've ever seen. We got the most thyroid and problem. Look, the little boy, handsome little young man, fat. Teenage daughter, fat with a bonnet. The little daughter, fat with a bonnet. The only one who appears to be in decent shape is the oldest boy, which I'm assuming. Nah, I'm not gonna go there. We all know it's rare for our ladies to have. Yeah, we all know. Ain't no use me doing that. Ain't no use me doing that.
Thomas is a single mom raising 6 kids in Atlanta. She has felt the drip, drip, drip of all of racism's stressors.
You see the Confederate flag being flowed. You see people driving.
So what's you see the? I'm not trying to be funny. You see the Confederate flag being flowed. What's a flowed? I'm going to hell. I know it. I know it. The Confederate flag and then the rain. Blame it on the rain. So we got the Confederate flag, the rain, somebody being mean, that all of that caused the diabetes. Okay.
By calling you the N-word and you're just walking down the street. I don't know any other race.
So being called a nigger made you 382 pounds. So that's what made me 350 pounds, is the fact that somebody called me a nigga one day, or somebody was mean to me, or rude, or I went to the store and somebody followed me around, or I got poor service. And all of a sudden, every time somebody mean, rude, called me a nigga, I gained an extra 15 pounds immediately. Oh, okay.
That actually say they have to have a talk with their kids about how to handle yourself when you're in the street, or how to handle yourself around a police officer, or how to handle yourself when you go shopping in a store. Make sure your hands are not in your pocket. There's a group.
She points to a particularly painful moment in 2019 when her teenage son Jerome, who is on the autism spectrum, was stopped and handcuffed by Atlanta police, who said,
Mr. Where did it go? I missed it. Where Derek, stop it, bro. What I think, TLA, TLA. I'm telling you what I think about peach cobbler. But TLA, okay, we can ask TLA. TLA, peach cobbler, banana pudding. What do you think about them?
They are amazing.
Nasty. Yuck. 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 I guess I'm not blackity black, because I can't deal with it. I cannot deal with it at all.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
Shout out to Eric Jordan for giving me his last $2. Good Lord, that's some huge, oh my God. Yep, okay, Eric Jordan. Yep. TLA.
he fit the profile of a robbery suspect.
I'm like, if you talk to him for a little while, you will know for a fact that my son had autism. But you didn't get a chance to know my son. You just assumed that he.
Whoa. Let me see. Is she blaming autism for being fat? Hold on.
Painful moment in 2019 when her teenage son Jerome, who is on the autism spectrum, was stopped and handcuffed by Atlanta police, who said he fit the profile of a robbery suspect.
I'm like, if you talk to him for a little while, you will know for a fact that my son had autism. But you didn't get a chance to.
Ma'am, and I completely understand that maybe if you talk to him for a minute, that you may know or understand that he might not be typical, that he might not have developed typically. But to know someone has autism, most people have no idea what autism actually is. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it recognizes. Only people who understand autism is typically those with people or family members that may have a very pronounced case. I wouldn't say case, but expression of autism. So I think it's not necessarily fair to sit there and go, oh, they automatically should have known that it was autism. But no, they probably, I would give you that they probably should have known that he's not a typical teenage boy. And so I'll give you that. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to be the first one to sit here and talk about that the police is some super, helpful. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like the police don't got issues. Them suckers got a lot of issues. And I'm not all about defund the police, but I don't know, if they disappeared, I wouldn't give $2.
Know my son. You just assumed that he was the criminal. And that broke my heart.
What was the impact on your son? What did it do to him?
He was like, Mom, did I do something wrong? And I'm like, no, baby, you did nothing wrong. It's just your skin. And he's like,
but we're talking about healthcare. What does any of this got to do with the fact that you are a 380-pound lady? This has nothing to do with that. So I don't understand what 60 Minutes is trying to do here with this. This has nothing to do with why you are a 380-pound woman. The fact that a cop in the South, in Georgia, in Atlanta of all places is yoking your son up because he thinks a certain way. That's all police officers across the country. That has nothing to do with you being 380 pounds.
Well, you think this going to happen to me again? You know, I had to say, and I'm like, yes, nine times out of 10, this is going to happen to you plenty of times in your lifetime.
People are really tired of these two Americas. They want to do something different.
Shirley Franklin served 2 terms as mayor of Atlanta and then as board chair of Purpose Built Communities, an organization trying to improve health outcomes for African Americans by investing in Black neighborhoods.
Dr. Williams told us that there is a 20 to 25 year gap in life expectancy based on the communities we live in. That's a remarkable number.
The life expectancy numbers are startling, and they're horrific.
One of the places where Franklin's group is trying to change those numbers is historic South Atlanta, the neighborhood of about 2,000 people where Michelle Thomas and her kids now live.
We determined that there were 3 key pillars. One is community wellness and community health, the sense of community spirit. Another is accessible, affordable housing. And the third is education.
If we can improve the living conditions of individuals, we actually can improve their health. Let me give you an example of a study that was done years ago where they took African Americans who lived in public housing and randomly, by the flip of a coin, some of them remained in public housing and some of them were given a voucher where they could go and find housing in areas of lower levels of poverty than when they currently were. Research shows 10 to 15 years later, those African Americans who moved to a better neighborhood had lower rates of obesity and lower diabetes risk. No health intervention. You just changed their neighborhood.
A crucial factor in that equation is access to health.
If you did not change the way you ate, your activity level, if you change the way you ate, you change your activity level, of course, I'm talking about no health intervention. Changing what you eat, being purposeful about being mobile will change your weight and your health. What the F are you talking about? I know where he's about to go. He's about to start talking about these food deserts, the lack of grocery stores in a lot of communities. But what you're not saying is why a lot of these damn grocery stores then packed up and moved out. Ain't that right, Messy Michonne? Messy Michonne has covered this ad nausea. Good God.
Foods. For years, South Atlanta, like many Black neighborhoods, was what's known as a food desert with no nearby grocery store. Katie Delp, whose neighborhood nonprofit works with former Mayor Franklin's group, says she tried to convince grocery chains to open a store.
You approached like every major supermarket chain to ask them if they would build a supermarket in the neighborhood, and they all said no?
They all said no.
Why?
Yeah, why? Let's see why.
The community does not have enough disposable income
That's
for a
some bullshit.
large supermarket. So it doesn't work for their model.
So Delp.
That's some bullshit that the community don't have disposable income. Why do you think we got every Chinese restaurant, wig and lash nail hair salon? Why do you think we got every fucking liquor store, every payday loan, every buy here, pay here? Why do you think all of these businesses are in the Black community if there's not any money in it? Even if we got lesser money, there's money to be there. I'm in a working class neighborhood, but it's predominantly Black. I can't go from one end of the block to the other end of the block without hitting 4 Asian-owned beauty supply stores, no less than 6 Chinese restaurants that sell fake Chinese food, and no less than 3, fried fish and chicken joints. So for a grocery store to sit there and go, oh, there's no money in the community, that's not true. It's not like that they won't earn money. The problem is in our quote unquote communities, we are too goddamn unruly. That's why they're not coming in here. That's why they're pulling out. We're too goddamn unruly. Nug Nug's children are completely and utterly out of control. So don't sit here. These stores are sick and tired of all of these smash and grab operations. You know? So stop blaming these stores for not wanting to come in and do me a huge favor.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Let's keep it up. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit.
Money making is my thing, cause I'm trying to be rich, trying to put away meals.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Here comes the
All right, shout out to Singles by the big homies. It's about time you showed up, brother. It's about you always leave it to black folk to be late. It's about time you brother showed up over here. Shout out to Singles by Choice over there. Salute Real Bravado. Thank you. Caught alive. Finally caught you live. Keep up the good work, brother. I'm trying. You know, I can't deal with the Kendra G's of the world. I'll leave that to you, the Messy Michonne, Singles by Choice, Smoke and Talk, Theo Goop. I'll leave all that bullshit from her up to you. Hit the like button, people, please. Singles by Choice. And shout out to the big homie over there. This might be risky podcast. Don't that brother up there, boy. Look, Ham, listen, bro. Some days, man, it takes an act of God for me to contain your podcast over there. Boy, them ladies are, boy. They are a walking, talking trigger. All they do is trigger. Boy, and what's up with Dana? She been like totally like drunk the last couple. But go over there to This Might Be Risky podcast. I am going to drop their link. Go over there, give them a sub. Go over there to check them out. Boy, look, that's a triggering podcast over there, boy. Them ladies over there, boy, be triggering the hell. Yeah. Now that's what causes high blood pressure and diabetes is This Might Be Risky podcast. That's who be causing diabetes, boy, and strokes and high blood pressure and shit. Them ladies over there, boy, look, they be like, I'm telling you guys, even some of you ladies over there that be supporting me, you go over there listening to them ladies sometimes, you'll be like, where's the brick? Where's the brick? But they're good. DJ Hemp over there does a good job of moderating over there and trying to hold them accountable. Them ladies don't like me over there. I've gone up there a couple times. Boy, them ladies don't like me. I can see it in their face when Hemp be like, we got Real Bravado in the back. He gonna bring him up. You should see the look on their face. They be like, oh, this nigga here. That's what they be like. Because I be like, yep, here come this nigga. Boy, sorry.
And her colleagues decided to build a smaller one of their own. In 2015, they opened Carver Market with community grounds, a coffee shop in the same building.
Do you remember your reaction the first time you saw or walked into Carver Market?
Yeah, I was blown away. I'm like, it's a cafe here and there's a grocery store. I'm like, wow. And I'm like, this area is a food desert and we got something like this. I was like, thank God. Amen. I was so happy.
Just the things you're saying, to be able to walk into a store and get fresh
Yeah, Mashawn.
vegetables and fruits and have a coffee shop. That's something many Americans just take for granted. And that's not something that
we wouldn't have to be worried about food deserts if we weren't over here. If Nug Nug and Pookie and Ray Ray's offsprings weren't out here terrorizing the fucking community, you know, I'm telling you, just hear something every day, almost every weeknight, or especially on the weekends on the news, you see footage. The news is out there showing footage of these 13, 14-year-old dudes walking up and down a goddamn street downtown at 2 o'clock in the morning with assault rifles. Where the fuck they mama at? Where they daddy at? How the hell you 14, 15 years old walking around with a damn assault rifle and pistols? And then I just saw on the news the other day, well, they were interviewing one of them talking about, you got to get 2. You got to have at least 2 to be strapped up with 2. These are fucking teenage. They need to be at home somewhere. Still ain't barely, these motherfuckers are barely out of diapers. And they're talking about, you don't want to know why people don't want to, why businesses don't want to come in. They're not coming in because ain't no money here. They're not coming in because they can't turn a profit. Everybody else come in, all the other communities come in, fresh off the boat, and they set up a fried rice house next door to you, grab all your money, but they go live someplace else. How many times y'all been in a quote-unquote hood, you stop at a convenience store, gas station, and there's a store here in St. Louis, my God. The entire store is behind bulletproof glass, meaning even the snacks, the juices, the sodas, everything. So when you walk into the store, you're just surrounded by glass, and you got to go point out to the caption what you want, and they walk around and they're behind all that bulletproof glass. They go into the refrigerators and get the sodas or get the chips or get whatever you want out of there, because the entire store, you just got enough. It's the whole store is open, but they didn't build a bulletproof glass around everything. So all of the stuff that they sell is surrounding the walls of the store, and it's behind like about 3 or 4 inch thick bulletproof glass. That is insane.
is available to everybody.
Yes, it's not. And it's sad. And it should be.
To have grocery stores that provide affordable access to high quality foods is a good thing from a health and nutrition point of view. But in addition to that, it provides employment opportunities. And really, a job is a good health enhancing strategy.
You have 5% off. You want to use that today? Yeah.
That has been precisely Michelle Thomas's experience in South Atlanta.
You didn't just want to shop at Carver Market.
No, I wanted to be a part of Carver Market. How can I apply and how can I get started?
What was your first job?
My first job was a barista.
So what is your job now?
I'm assistant general manager of Carver Market.
You have a wonderful day, and you come back and see us again, okay?
The health benefits that a nearby grocery store can provide have been proven in neighborhood after neighborhood. Michelle Thomas says she sees it in her own family compared to the...
You know what? I'm thinking about that store, Messy Michelle. I saw that you said that that's the hood. That store that I'm describing, I hate to tell you this, it's not really considered the hood where it's at, but they've had so many damn issues over there over the years. My God. Yes, Messy Michelle. And Allen she's pills, potions, and poison. Yes. Shout out to N. Allen.
Food desert where she used to live.
I could never get fresh fruit and vegetables the same day that I need them. With Carver Market, I can actually just walk down the street like 5 blocks and I have fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. And that's the point. You want to give your kids.
Let me explain something to you guys. And I'm not trying to be obtuse about this story for the sake of being obtuse about it. Listen. Once upon a time, the majority of Black families were farmers. We grew our own shit. We knew how to grow our own shit. I grew up having a vegetable garden. To this day, my grandfather, my father, my uncles, they all have vegetable gardens. So to sit there and say that you don't have access, you can't do nothing about it, you can do something about it. You also, and let's keep it a buck for our ladies, you also can go out of your way to make sure that you have an appropriate male that you partner with. So you guys can combine your resources to live in areas that have access. And why can't you, you get everywhere else that you need to go. When you got to go to a grocery store, why can't you Uber? Look, you don't even have to Uber to the store no more. They'll deliver the shit to you. They'll deliver the crap to you. Even if you don't have a grocery store, even if you don't have access to transportation. Yeah, you might have to pay a little bit more, and especially since Big Daddy government got you on some food stamps. Come on, man. I'm tired.
It's something healthy.
It was my daughter's birthday.
Even with all the progress in South Atlanta, there's fresh trauma, too.
Put your hands on your butt.
Last June, Rayshard Brooks was shot and killed by an Atlanta police officer just...
As this story progresses, it's getting further and further and further away from what their thesis of the story is, which is racism causes bad health. We done went from attacking grocery stores, from not wanting to be robbed, to now we're going to police brutality, which is a thing. But you're sitting up here
a half mile from the Carver Market. In the unrest that followed, the market was vandalized. But that wasn't the whole story.
One thing that struck me the morning after the vandalism was that we had neighbors everywhere, sweeping up glass, scrubbing off graffiti, boarding up windows.
We came together. You wouldn't believe how many neighbors came together. And if you've seen that many people, you know you're at a good place.
That same week, Michelle Thomas and her neighbors held a peaceful march that drew a stark contrast to the violence. They painted murals over graffiti.
Live for the video, everybody.
And started bike rides to occupy neighborhood kids idled by the...
Well, I'll be damned. Isn't that an idea? Who would have thunk it? Lead attorney, can you believe it? What do you think about these people getting on a bike? What do you think about bike riding as an activity?
They are amazing.
Yes. Guess what happens when you ride a bicycle regularly? You lose weight. Can you believe that?
Hell no, to the no.